For the construction of rock and roll, y'all, one must be certain of the strength of the foundation.
Oh, talk about my soul, yeah. That's the number we call the
Rock solid foundation.
Good morning. You're listening to 94.9 Main FM, broadcasting from Castlemaine in Jarrah Country. I'm Dave, this is Rock Solid Foundation, and this week I'm going to connect military fife and drum music from the 1700s to the use of harmonica in blues and rock and roll, but I'm calling it Mississippi saxophone because I like the alliteration of military fife and drum to Mississippi saxophone. Alliteration is something that I'm going to be trying to work into my titles every week. We'll see how long I manage to do that for. All right. So, Mississippi saxophone is a harmonica. That is what Mississippi saxophone is. But what on earth is fife and drum? Well, fife and drum is not well known in Australia. So, in case you're unfamiliar, it's a European form of military music used to communicate across the battlefield and to maintain morale. It dates back to about the 1500s. The closest thing that you're likely to hear in Australia would be a Highland pipe band. The difference is mainly the type of wind instrument used and the size of the band. If you think of a Highland pipe band and replace the bagpipes with a cane flute, that's essentially a fife and drum band. Although the bands that I'm going to be playing today are significantly smaller than most Highland bands. Generally they consist of a bass drum, one or two snare drums, a fife player and a vocalist. These bands are also based in black rural communities of the southern USA, but rather than listening to me describe it, let's hear some examples. You're listening to 94.9 Main FM. The text line is 04888 63186. Okay, so we just heard 2 tracks there by the Sid Hemphill Band. The first was Jesse James, and the second was The Death March, both recorded in 1942. They're both from the compilation LP Travelling Through the Jungle, released in 1971. A lot of what I'm going to be playing of the fife and drum music is actually from that compilation because it's not something that's on many records. There are a few other records that feature this kind of music, but this is one particular compilation that really features a lot of the best stuff that's ever been recorded. Okay, you're listening to 94.9 Main FM. The text line is 04888 63186. I'm Dave, and this is Rock Solid Foundation. Now, the drums drown out the fife to some extent in those recordings, but they do illustrate the rhythmic similarity to Highland pipe bands. While this is a form of music originally from Europe, it was transplanted to the modern-day US with colonisation. During the Revolutionary War and later the Civil War, black musicians, often slaves, were enlisted as musicians in military fife and drum bands. While these black musicians may not have been choosing to play this music, this was one of the only ways that slaves could actually legally access drums. There's a book by Paul Oliver called Savannah Syncopators that does a great job of explaining a lot of this. Other than in Louisiana, which allowed slaves to play drums in New Orleans, Congo Square on weekends, all other states had outlawed slaves making, owning or playing drums following the 1831 Nat Turner Slave Rebellion. They also forbade slaves from learning to read and write. Both were in order to undermine their abilities to communicate, organise and rebel. So these restrictions tie into last week's show on lining hymns, which you can stream on the Rock Solid Foundation page at mainfm.net. Once black musicians were allowed to play these drums, they applied African musical concepts such as call and response and syncopation, broadened the repertoire, and over time created their own musical tradition now known as African American Fife and Drum. I have 3 examples of African American Fife and Drum coming up after an announcement.
Castlemaine Safe Space is a free, confidential, non-clinical service welcoming anyone who is in emotional distress, experiencing suicidal thoughts, looking for resources or pantry items, or in need of a calm place just to be. No referrals or appointments are necessary, and everyone is welcomed with respect, non-judgment and empathy by our trained volunteers. You'll find us at 74 Mostyn Street or visit safespace.org, a Main FM sponsor.
I want to be in the normal when I say go marching on. In the clothes, they find my Lord. And in the clothes, they find my Lord. The Lord I want to be in the normal when the saints go marching on.
Right, you're listening to Main FM 94.9. This is Rock Solid Foundation. I'm Dave. The text line is 04888 63186. On the topic of text, I actually have a text here from Ross who's saying, Dave, Ross, we'll have to catch your show on Mixcloud. Great intro, by the way. Look, thank you very much, Ross. We can always rely on Ross to text us in very encouraging texts. I mentioned last week I wanted to know who Ross is, and I found out. I spoke to Marty, who presents Ramble On Wednesday evenings at 7. I recommend you have a listen to that show. Marty told me that Ross is actually Radio Roscoe, who presents The Luddite Show at 6 p.m. on Tuesday nights. Another great show, a really cool show about all things low tech, often interesting guests. A particular favourite of mine was Ross and Tall Dave playing mandolin, which was playing live mandolin on the radio, which was really cool. So thank you very much for your text, Ross. I better just check if there's any others. No, not just yet. Okay. So what we heard just a moment ago was, first of all, yes, we did hear the Sid Hemphill Band again. So we heard the Sid Hemphill Band with Sidewalks of New York, which is a 1894 vaudeville tune. That's recorded in 1942. Then we heard Napoleon Strickland with, I think you probably recognised it, When the Saints Go Marching In, recorded in 1970. And just there was Ephraim Carter with Old Hen Cackled, Laid a Double Egg from 1970. So all these, you'll notice these tracks are getting less militaristic in their content. They're no longer playing military music. They're playing popular or sort of well-known tracks, well-known tunes for that period, or for any period for that matter, and pieces of music that they've written themselves about rural life, as in Old Hen Cackled, Laid a Double Egg. Given this music is from rural black communities in the southern USA, it's geographically close to country blues, and unsurprisingly culturally close too. The hill country guitarist Fred McDowell sometimes played with Napoleon Strickland, not necessarily guitar. I have a recording of him playing wastebasket, so I assume he's using it as a percussion instrument. And Jessie Mae Hemphill, the daughter of Sid Hemphill, was both a renowned fife and drum and hill country blues musician. It is, is it really 19 past 8? It's 19 past 8. You're listening to 94.9 Main FM. Once again, the text line is 04888 63186. You're probably also, actually one more thing, the rhythms you're hearing are getting they're getting more complex and syncopated. So they're moving away from this sort of European military rhythms to more African-inspired syncopated rhythms. Nothing against the European rhythms. I really like those as well, but this is just where this becomes African American fife and drum as opposed to the traditional European fife and drum, or the other tradition. Now, you probably figured out that I'm drawing a connection between the fife and the harmonica, but there's actually another instrument in between known as a quill. So while a fife is a flute effectively made from a cane, a length of cane, a quill is essentially a panpipe made from the same material. So musicians such as Sid Hemphill played these as well as the fife. Now, a panpipe and a harmonica are mechanically similar in that different notes are created by blowing into or across differently tuned chambers. And with the harmonica, you can actually draw air through it as well. But anyway, similar to some extent. The main point I'm making is that the harmonica was not the first wind instrument to be featured in blues, or at least music closely related to blues. So when this compact, cheap and expressive instrument from Germany became available in the 1800s, it was clearly going to be of interest to black musicians in the South. Now here's some blues, followed by some fife and drum blues covers.
My baby don't stand no cheating, my baby. Oh yeah, she don't stand no cheating, my baby. Oh yeah, she don't stand no cheating. She don't stand none of that midnight creeping, my baby. True little baby, my baby. My baby, I know she'd love me, my baby. Oh yes, I know she love me, my baby. Oh yes, I know she love me. She don't do nothing but kiss and hug me, my baby. True little baby, my baby. Baby, don't stand no cheating, my baby. Oh no, she don't stand no cheating, my baby. Oh no, she don't stand no cheating. Everything everything she do so pleasing, my baby. True little baby, my baby. My baby don't stand no fooling, my baby. Oh yeah, she don't stand no fooling, my baby. Oh yeah, she don't stand no fooling. When she's hot, there ain't no cooling, my baby. True little baby, my baby. True little baby, she's my baby. True little baby, she's my baby. True little baby, she's my baby.
Right, so right there, the last three tracks we heard, first of all was My Babe by Little Walter, recorded in 1955. That's from the 1963 Chess Records compilation, The Blues Volume 1. You may have noticed a bit of a crackle on that one. Napoleon Strickland was next with a cover of My Babe, recorded in 1970. Once again, that's from the Travelling Through the Jungle compilation. From 1971. And then I just noticed Compton Jones on that last track is actually not playing a fife, he's whistling. I will have to double check that. I'm sure he's whistling. It's too soft a sound to be a fife. So Compton Jones was doing Sitting on Top of the World there, recorded in 1970, but that's from a much earlier Mississippi Chic song written in the mid-1930s. You're listening to 94.9 Main FM. This is Rock Solid Foundation. I'm Dave, and the text line is 04888 63186. Okay, where am I up to? Oh, I'm up to there. Great. Okay, it is just about 8:30 a.m., which is where I'd hoped to be about now. You probably noticed that these tracks are getting less and less militaristic, as I said before, and more celebratory. The culture of African American Fife and Drum is no longer associated with the military and is instead associated with community gatherings such as picnics, and it's all about dancing. I've played a few pieces by Napoleon Strickland. Now I'm going to play a piece by Otha Turner's band. Otha Turner was one of the most influential fife players and band leaders in this field, and who, from what I understand, learned at least some of his craft from Napoleon Strickland. I'll follow that with two much more recent pieces featuring Sade Thomas Mallory, Otha Turner's granddaughter. But first, we have an announcement.
Is your business tech holding you back? Streamline IT helps small businesses, sole traders and individuals simplify technology with better connectivity, stronger security, reliable cloud backups and more. Scalable, efficient and easy-to-use systems built to work today and evolve with you. Visit streamline-it.au and make your tech work for you. Streamline IT, proudly serving Castlemaine and Central Victoria and supporting Main FM.
right, so we just heard Otha Turner with Late at Midnight, Just a Little For Day, recorded in 1970, and then straight after that was his granddaughter Sade Thomas Mallory with Mississippi from the Rising Stars Fife and Drum Band. Otha Turner's band was the Rising Star Fife and Drum Band, and Sade Thomas Mallory has added an S to the star and made it the Rising Stars. So Rising Stars Fife and Drum Band, recorded in 2023. That's from their LP Evolution of Fife and Drum Music. And you've probably noticed a bit of an homage to Tupac, Dr. Dre and Roger Troutman's California Love in there. Now, the Rising Stars Fife and Drum Band was the last song we just heard as well, and that was a track called Hens from 2024 from their LP The Evolution of Fife and Drum Music 2, Hikala Creek. Now, that one's quite similar to the Ephraim Carter Old Hen Cackled Laid a Double Egg in that it's a sort of a documentation of some rural life related to chickens as well. Okay, you're listening to 94.9 Main FM. This is Rock Solid Foundation. I'm Dave, and the text line is 04888 63186. We heard from Otha Turner and his granddaughter there. So she learned directly from her grandfather and is keeping the African American fife and drum music alive in the 21st century. I've spoken a bit about the mechanical similarity between quills, fifes and harmonicas, but a more important link is the way that they're played. The next bracket features 2 fife solos, followed by a track that I believe demonstrates a clear connection between the rhythmic approach and playing techniques of fifes, quills and harmonica. We've got one announcement. No, actually, we've actually got 2 announcements before that. So stay tuned.
Offering pre-packing and unpacking services, home and office moves, locally and interstate. Leave your move to the experts. With years of experience, Stressless Moves is dedicated to ensuring a seamless relocation, whether it's across the road or across the country. Call Maddie or Rick for an obligation-free quote or visit stresslessmoves.com.au, a trusted Main FM sponsor.
When you hear the music that's ringing tune, come from your speaker box that boom. Transmission, it don't come cheap. We know the taxman, he never sleep. So to help us, here is a tip. Sign up for your membership. Surefire where to feel your best.
Online at mainfm.net to subscribe. Thanks, Nicky Bomber, for the reminder.
Wake up, say our day done come, let me 2 year olds and some.
my line. Take your time.
Good God, man, do it again.
Alright, so right there, the last three tracks you heard, first of all was... Oh, what was it? Oh, yes, it was J.W. Jones with Wake Up Sal, Day Done Come, Let Me Chew Your Rosin Some. Now, I think that might be a bit of a double entendre. That's kind of like a hokum blues lyric, which will be something I touch on in a couple of weeks' time. That was recorded in 1970, once again from the LP Travelling Through the Jungle. Then we had Sid Hemphill with Emmeline Take Your Time, recorded in 1942 from the same compilation. And right there was Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee with Sonny's Thing. Recorded that one. He's done that. He did that numerous times. That one was recorded in 1973 from their LP Sonny and Brownie. You also heard Sugarcane Harris on violin in there. And violin and its relationship to blues is something I will also return to later on. Anyway, you're listening to 94.9 Main FM. This is Rock Solid Foundation. I'm Dave, and the text line is 04888 63186. It is just it's about 12 minutes. Yeah, 12 minutes to 9, so I'm running out of time. Now, I said I was going to connect fife and drum to the use of harmonica in blues and rock and roll, but I haven't yet got us to rock and roll. I'm going to assume I don't need to illustrate a connection between blues and rock right now, but I will delve into that connection later on. Here's a bracket of 3 tracks taking us from Sonny Terry's blues harmonica to rock and roll.
Honey, don't
I'm gonna rock with all my blues. We're rocking. Oh, we're rocking. Woo, we're rocking. Rocking this joint tonight. Yeah. Going to the course was all about. Man, they rocking, don't put me out. We're rocking. Oh, we're rocking. We're rocking. Rocking this joint tonight. Hey, come on, baby, about 3:45. Come on, girl, we're gonna rock some more. We're rocking. Yeah, we're rocking. We're rocking. Rocking this joint tonight. Yeah. I got a girl, sure is swell. When she rocking me, sure can tell she rocking. Yeah, she rocking. She rocking. Rocking this joint tonight. Yeah. Rock right down, don't rock no more. We're rocking till I got to go. We're rocking. Yeah, we're rocking. We're rocking, rocking the joint tonight. Yeah, we're gonna rock. We 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 gonna rock.
All right, sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button. So, first of all, in that bracket, we heard Big Mama Thornton with Early One Morning, recorded in 1971 at a live performance at the University of Oregon. After that, we heard Kid Thomas with Rockin' This Joint Tonight from 1960. That was released in 1960 as a single, but that's taken from the Rockin' This Joint Tonight compilation from 1980. And right there we heard the Jay Giles Band with Gettin' Out from 1974 off their Nightmares and Other Tales from the Vinyl Jungle LP. Ooh, it's just about the end of my show. So thanks for listening. I've been Dave. This has been Rock Solid Foundation. You're listening to 94.9 Main FM. The text line is 04888 63186. Thank you very much for listening. It's almost time for On the Wing with Herbie, Sissy and Tadpole. Thank you very much for listening. Next week, I'm going to be connecting Gandhi dancers to gangster rappers. That's next week. Right now, it's time for On the Wing, and to take us there, in fact, no, I'm not going to play a track because there just isn't time. So to take us there, you've got me. Thanks once again, everybody, for listening. And On the Wing is coming up in about 20 seconds. So, yeah, Gandhi Dancers to Gangster Rappers is next week. And the week after that, I'm doing Hokum Blues to heavy metal.